Coming up on today's show, it is all things green. We are planting, biking, and spending time in the beautiful outdoors. And of course, we put some shopping in there too, so don't you worry. New Day Cleveland starts right now. Welcome to our Go Green Show. I am Natalie Herbeck, and all hour long we are going to show you the amazing ways that Northeast Ohio is helping our planet. To kick things off, we start with a refill shop that's all about limiting plastic. Check it out.
Little Spork Refill Shop is a convenient way for you to refill your own containers with eco-friendly products ranging from shampoo and conditioner to cleaning products and laundry detergents. The idea behind Little Spork came after I had a long journey with Cleveland Clinic's functional medicine, and I had to get rid of a lot of products that were not good for me. And then I started looking around and I was like, refill shops, all these shops around the country are carrying products that are safe for me and safe for the planet. Do we have one in Cleveland? And we came up short, so I ended up quitting my full-time job in finance during the pandemic and creating Little Spork Refill Shop. A lot of the products that we carry have been asked for by our customers, but many of the other ones are just products that I loved or my employees have loved. Things like dish soap blocks. You don't need to use a bottle of dish soap. You can have a block that actually replaces 4 bottles of dish soap. Our top sellers at Little Spork are going to be anything on our refill stations: hand soap, dish soap, laundry detergent. Also, what's popular is going to be our unpaper towels and our Swedish dishcloths for those who are wanting to get rid of, say, paper towels. Those are super easy because you're able to just reuse them. The Swedish dishcloths can actually be composted. The unpaper towels, you just wash after you use them and then reuse them again. We understand that recycling is just really kind of complicated. So we have actually created a program where you can bring in certain products that are not recyclable through the city, and we either get them back to the company to have them properly recycled, or we get them to nonprofits that can use them. Things like pill bottles without the label and the adhesive, contact lens blister packs, little plastic bread tabs. What are we supposed to do with them? Well, you can bring them to Little Spork Refill Shop, and we send them to a nonprofit that actually helps individuals get wheelchairs that can't afford them. So the products that would normally go into a landfill are now helping people who can't get the things that they need. I think we hear a lot about sustainability, and many of us are like, oh my gosh, I need to be more sustainable, but how do I do this? It seems so difficult. And that was kind of the purpose behind Little Spork Refill Shop, was I wanted to make it so it wasn't hard. Being able to not worry about recycling a plastic soap container and being able to refill it and reuse that plastic, making sure that we have items in our house that are not single-use plastic, but multi-use plastic. Getting away from plastic straws and using reusable straws that are made of metal or silicone. I think that's where sustainability is important, where we're reusing what we already have and not looking for new items that don't have a long life. We have a lot of customers that come in and talk about how they think that recycling is just too confusing, and that being more sustainable, there's so many products out there, but the question is what products are good and what products are being greenwashed. So I like when customers come in the store and they just ask all the questions they need to. All the products we've tested in the store, our employees I've tested, my friends and family have tested, are super safe for us, and they're also good for the planet. Being able to help the community refill and become more eco-conscious has been really amazing. Honestly, I think our customers are the best part of what we do at Little Spork, because they spread the word and they share with their friends what we do and how you can become more sustainable. We have many customers come in and say, hey, I just heard about you, can you tell me more? And we walk them through this sustainable journey, and by the end of it, they're like, this is so easy, I can do this at home.
Well, we just practiced reducing waste, so how about we try reusing what we have? Well, this next spot is making a difference with food scraps. Take a look.
Rust Belt Rodgers has been around since 2014, providing businesses, organizations, and individuals across Northeast Ohio with a clean, timely, and community-benefiting alternative to landfills for their food waste. And our mission is to feed people, not landfills. We really are trying to close the food loop, as it were. So I think a lot of effort and energy has been given to where our food comes from, and that's tremendously important. But we think that the farm-to-table movement is only complete when you've got a table-to-farm movement. And so what we do and what we focus on is helping people divert their food from going to landfills. So we work with businesses to pick up their food scraps, as well as residents and communities to help them meaningfully divert their food from going to landfills. After we collect that material, we then process it into the products that you see before you, which we market and sell as Tilth Soil. And so Tilth Soil is a line of certified organic soils used for potting mixes to houseplants to help people keep their plants healthy and happy. We have two programs that residents can opt into. We have a community-based drop-off location, which currently has around 20 and growing drop-off locations across Northeast Ohio. And the way that that works is you pay a monthly subscription. You bring your food scraps to ideally a conveniently located drop-off location, deposit your food scraps, rinse and repeat. And so you can do that on an as-needed basis, as often or as infrequently as you might want. But then on the other end of things, we live in the era of convenience, and so we also have a to-your-door home pickup program. All of the food waste that we pick up, we mix with wood chips and leaf waste, which we get from municipalities. And so it's that compost that is the foundation of all of the blends that we make, and is the key ingredient that makes our blends so special. Depending on what you're trying to grow, we usually have a mix for you. So early in the season, you might be starting things from seed, in which case you might want to go with our product called Sprout. And then after you've got healthy starts, you might want to put it into a raised bed or a larger container garden, and that's what Grow is for. Grow is by far our most popular product. Really user-friendly, makes everybody feel like they've got a green thumb. But not everybody's into gardening, and that's totally fine. Lots of people love their houseplants, be it spider plants or monsteros, you name it. And then we've got a mix for indoor houseplants as well. It provides a ton of drainage for your mix, making it really hard to over or underwater that mix. But then a lot of people are aware of fungus gnats. So these are the pesky little flies that emerge out of your soil very often and are the bane of lots of houseplant parents' existence. And so by working with Nathan on our team, we found a microscopic worm that we inoculate this mix with that will kill off any fungus gnats. And so we know that we can ship out this product knowing that it will be free of fungus gnats. And that we think has been a huge benefit to a lot of the houseplant parents that have enjoyed this product. We love working with gardeners and farmers one-on-one to make sure that they're getting the blend that they need to get the results that they need so that they can keep growing as much food as they can.
You can go online to find Tilth Soil near you. So they do have a whole list of vendors on their website too, and you can even get it in Heinen's. Now when we come back, we're helping to rebuild Northeast Ohio's tree canopy. Welcome back to our Go Green Show, and let me tell you, we are doing something great for planet Earth right now. I have Jessica with me. We are here at one of the most beautiful places in Northeast Ohio, Holden Forest and Gardens, and we are planting a tree today.
That's right, so excited.
Doing something good for the area.
That's right.
You know, it's hard to believe that our area used to be called the Forest City.
I know. So Cleveland used to be the Forest City, and we're down to 17% tree cover in Cleveland area right now. So at Holden, we're trying to encourage people to plant trees as one of the most important things that you can do to improve our environment. Trees do so much, from billions of dollars of environmental services for our city every year. They trap pollutants, they slow storm water, they shade buildings, they'll lessen your energy bill, all of these different things, and they even slow traffic and help mental health. So we see healthier communities when we've got healthier trees.
I mean, it makes perfect sense when you think about it, but it's good for you to refresh our memory on all of that.
Absolutely.
So we are planting what kind of tree today?
Absolutely. So this is a Celtis occidentalis, which is a hackberry. This is a native tree in our area. It doesn't occur a lot in the wild, but I picked this tree today because it's a really good tree for wildlife, and it's a very hardy tree. So this is one, even though we're planting to get the arboretum today, this is a tree that works well in urban environments because sometimes urban soil is a little bit less nutrients, a little bit rough on a tree. This tree is okay and tolerant of those conditions. So the best time to plant a tree is in the fall or spring in Northeast Ohio. The important thing is to make sure that the roots are going out like spokes of a wheel. Trees use their roots to anchor into the soil. And so I'm spreading out the roots, and then I'm finding the root flare, which is the area where the trunk turns into roots.
Okay.
So I had to dig down a little ways to find that, but that's actually a really important zone because I'm gonna put this in the hole
here
now.
we go.
Here we go, this is the big moment.
This is exciting.
I know, right? Okay. And I'll
Do you
put
need me
this
to
in the
hold
hole.
this?
Oh,
Or
sure,
you-
that would be
okay.
really helpful, thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, it stands
there we
pretty
go.
well.
So, standing pretty well.
So the interesting part for me
yeah.
is seeing this hole that you've dug. I
Oh,
would
for
think
sure.
it has to be smaller and deeper when yours is more shallow and
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the purpose of that? Why dig this way?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. So again, the roots of a tree are going out. They don't go straight down. And that's because we actually have shallow soils in Northeast Ohio. So instead of digging a hole that's just the size of the container, you always need to dig it at least 2.5 to 3 times the size, and almost like a saucer, not like a hole straight into the ground. And the reason is that will encourage these roots to grow out and anchor the tree in place. Also, we don't want to get any deeper than this root flare. This is the magic zone, and we want the root flare to see the air. So we're only going to fill it up to this point, and then we start to fill.
So exciting. Well, we've done something good today for the environment. How high did you say, how tall will this grow?
Oh, this guy is going to get to 50, 60 feet, depending on...
How many years will that take, probably?
Oh, many years. So,
well, if I'm still alive when it happens, I'll come,
right,
come and
back
give us
up.
a visit. But it is so important. It's just another reminder that it is something so small that we can do to help our environment. And you get to enjoy a beautiful, beautiful piece of nature in the process.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you so
Jessica.
much for coming out. It's fun to plant a tree.
Well, you did the majority of the work. I helped a little. A local delivery service bringing you fruits and veggies that need some extra TLC. This is Perfectly Imperfect Produce.
Perfectly Imperfect Produce is a fruit and vegetable delivery subscription program. Our mission is all about reducing food waste and improving healthy food access for all. So every week we go out into the community and we rescue fresh fruits and vegetables that are at risk of going to waste because they might be a little bit blemished, they might be a little too large or too small compared to most consumers' needs, or they might be surplus crops from local farms. And we bring those in here and we package them up into various sized boxes that our customers select on our website, and we deliver them right to their doorstep. We do this because there's a massive food waste problem in our nation. If you're not familiar with the statistics, nearly half of the food that is produced in the United States is never eaten. Each week we make donations to local food pantries, so every box that's purchased, we also purchase more produce, and we work with local partners like the Hunger Network and other local food pantries who come pick up those donations from us every week. In terms of how much food we're rescuing, over the course of the past 6 years that we have been in business, we estimate we've rescued about 3 million pounds of fruits and vegetables that would have otherwise gone to waste. And we've donated about 500,000 pounds of fresh food to local food pantries. all vegetable boxes, we have all fruit boxes, we have mixed fruit and vegetable boxes, we have some special combos like salad bar boxes and smoothie and juicing boxes. And so all of those items get placed in those boxes by our team who really understand the difference between imperfect and not fresh. A year ago, we launched a new line called Diced and Easy. And that is products that include ready-to-eat salads, grain bowls, fresh cut fruit and vegetable snack cups, fruit-infused waters, and then also some meal kits where everything comes pre-measured and pre-sliced and diced for you. We deliver as far as Ashtabula east, as far as about Sandusky west, and then down to Akron, Canton, Youngstown, even as far as Worcester. I think that anyone who's grown produce on their own in their own garden knows that carrots in particular don't come out of the ground looking perfect and what we envision the ideal carrot to look like, right? And so our local farmers obviously see a lot of that kind of product, and they do a lot of sorting. We actually help them do a lot of sorting by, they will deliver an entire bin of something to us, and we're able to go through that and find the things that are wonky shaped. Those go in our boxes. Maybe they're beautiful, perfect carrots from farms as well. But we like to think of ourselves as sort of a farmer's market delivered in a lot of ways. So we're going out and supporting lots of local farms and bringing in all the items that they're having trouble moving to bring in that product, and then we can deliver it right to your door.
Perfectly Imperfect Produce has many delivery options. If you want to learn more about their subscriptions, go online. And I think it's time right now to hit the road. How about a vegan food truck right after this break? Healthy food on the go, got you covered. Wild Spork on the move throughout Northeast Ohio. Lee, this is your place.
Yeah.
I love the idea of what you've done. Where'd you get the name, Wild Spork?
So my husband and I were on a road trip. We were driving from his parents' house in West Virginia back to where we lived in Wisconsin. And we were just saying words that we would see on street signs and whatever, and just throwing things together. And wild came first, and then we're like, okay, wild something. And then we just were saying things until Spork hit, and we're like, all right, that's it.
Like the spoon fork.
Yes,
Spork.
spoon fork.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, and it makes perfect sense. And the concept of what you're doing here, it's all about vegan.
Yes, everything, completely plant-based. Cleveland is an amazing city for vegan food, and we were the first vegan food truck. So we really hit the ground running with that.
Well, and I'm sure you established then what the vegan market could be here in Cleveland. So I was looking at your menu. Everything
Yes.
looks pretty good. Do you have an idea of what we could? Can I come back there with you to help you make a few
Yeah,
things?
let's make some Drunken Tiger tacos. They're new this year and they're super popular, filled with vegetables.
I love
They're
the name.
Awesome. Yeah.
Sounds amazing. All
Yeah,
right, let's go
let's do
in. All right, let's get to it.
All right, we're making Drunken Tiger tacos. Super easy. First thing, just gotta warm up these tortillas.
So easy so far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah, can't mess this part up. This is our filling. It is.
Oh, that looks so good.
It's roasted sweet potatoes, broccoli, and chickpeas in a Korean barbecue sauce. So a lot of fresh ingredients, loaded with vegetables.
See, I feel like for those who might not have thought the option of going vegan, they just don't know the options that they have.
Exactly. That's it. Drunken
it?
Tiger, ready to go.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take these out here if that's
Yeah,
okay.
Get out there, enjoy your lunch.
I'll make sure I find Dylan and make sure I pay for these. But if you want a couple other things, I'll go sit out there and wait for you. Maybe we can
Okay,
show off.
we'll have- yeah.
Can we bring some of that corn?
You got it.
Okay.
All right, we got some more food for you.
Oh, she knows me all too well, and yet she doesn't know me at all, which is wonderful. Okay.
Yes. Give you the
Now I
full-
had already
full
wanted that
array.
corn, but what are these?
These are tofu wings. We call them flying tofu wings. They get toasted in our special dry rub. And then you've got a tangy barbecue sauce to dip them in.
And look, now those look like some amazing fries.
Those are my favorite.
What is cheese then?
Those are the cheesy buffalo ranch fries. We call them the CBR. They've got everything. So our cheese sauce is made primarily from cashews and carrots, and then it's just a standard buffalo sauce and a house-made dairy-free ranch.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff, right?
Oh, and those are lettuce wraps unlike any lettuce wraps I've seen before. Who needs me when you have this? Everything is, that's delicious. I'm gonna try, I need to know what these taste like. And a reminder, they just have to figure out where, because you're all over the place.
We're all
Northeast
over.
Ohio, right?
Yep.
What's the best way for people to make sure they know where you're going?
If you go to our Facebook page, click events, you'll get a whole list of where we're at every day.
These are so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm gonna stalk you guys now all
Do
over.
it. We love stalkers. We have so many.
So if you want to find Wild Spork's schedule, you can go online or check out their Facebook page. All right, let's do some shopping. We can find something pretty unique and new to you at Moonstruck Vintage.
Moonstruck is a curated vintage shop providing vintage clothing, home decor, collectibles, and gift items. We also specialize in offering a selection of local and small batch makers, including soaps and candles, incense, jewelry, and a variety of other things. I like to tell people that eventually my collection outgrew my house and I just opened the shop just to have a place to store my things. But I've always been a collector, I've always appreciated vintage, and I just always wanted to be able to offer a collection to others because I couldn't keep everything myself. I really do pick things that I have fallen in love with and really value, and over time we've learned what other people are looking for. And the reality is we just never know who's going to walk through the door. There's such great foot traffic here. It's a great community of locals, but it's also people from all over the country and sometimes the world. So we just try to expand that and offer things that, you know, people appreciate because of its value, its quality, and the history of it. Sort of specialize in vintage leather and vintage denim. Those are two things that really tend to show the wear and tear and history of the item, but they also hold up like iron. We also love any sort of handmade pottery. In particular, we love it when we can find Italian-made pottery because we love it and because of where we're located, and it seems to be really appealing to our clientele. One of our favorite vendors is Bars. They're a local maker of soaps, and they have a great selection. They're fully natural and organic. Vintage is always in style for certain people, but it really is having another renaissance, I guess you would say, because people are very concerned about reusing what's already out there in the world, and we're very concerned about that too. Everybody talks about fast fashion and the impacts it has to the environment, but you know, we kind of live that every day. For myself, I thrift a lot of what I wear and a lot of things that I have in my home. I find that our customers are wanting to do the same thing. They want to find something that's unique, high quality, and is not going to end up in the landfill. We're very concerned about reusing what's already here. And it's usually better, more interesting. Every week we have new items, and we're always listening to our community. We know we've been successful when somebody walks out of the room wearing that item or using that item immediately. We know that's a home run for us. We just really love being part of Cleveland, and in particular Little Italy. We feel like we found our home. I don't know if this business would exist someplace else. It's been great. It's been wonderful. It's everything I always dreamed about.
So if you can't make it to Moonstruck Vintage Store, you can also shop on their website, or you can visit their Etsy page. Our Go Green Show continues after this, and Ohio City Smoothie Spot is next. to our Go Green show. So today it is all about Mother Earth. And if you missed anything, don't forget, you can always go to fox8.com to see a list of all of today's featured businesses. So keep that in mind. All right, so we know green is great for our environment, but it's great for you too. So you can get your fruits and veggies at Smooth Rider Smoothies.
Rodgers Smoothies is a food truck and cafe here in Ohio City. We started with the truck in 2016, and we started the storefront here in Ohio City in 2018. Our recipes are unique. When I first started kind of researching the business and trying to figure out how to create all these recipes, I did a lot of research, and I was going to smoothie chains around town and seeing what they do and what they put in their smoothies and kind of studying all these different menus. And I kept seeing fruit juice, fruit juice, fruit juice, fruit juice. And the more research I did, I just saw sugars and calories. And I'm like, how can we remove that? And how can we remove the frozen yogurt and the sherbet? Because a lot of these places are putting in fruit juice, a scoop of sherbet, a scoop of frozen yogurt, and then fruit, and you're just getting so much added sugar, so much added calories to that. So that's kind of how I started researching to create this menu, is to pull all that stuff that's not good for you out and to make it more healthy. So what we did is we just used these alternative liquids that have practically no sugar in them and no calories, and blend with like a dairy-free, which is like our coconut milk base. So our top seller since we started is our Kokomo Kale. That's kind of our signature smoothie. It's got kale and spinach, chia seeds, a little splash of lime juice, mangoes and pineapples. So that's kind of been like our go-to since we started. And for me, like, I'm a person that doesn't like greens, so I've been able to like really sell that smoothie to people because I don't eat salad, lettuce, anything like that. So that's kind of like the only way I'll have it. But for 6 years now, that's been our top seller, not only at the shop, but on the food truck too. 2 tropical drinks, 2 pink lotions. The part of the job that I love the most is just meeting all the people. So whether I'm here at the store, meeting all the kids at Ignatius, and all the, the customers that are just walk-ins from the neighborhood of Ohio City, or just people that I meet at the food truck that follow us all around. I mean, I see people that live in Paynesville that come all the way over to Olmsted. I mean, they just for a smoothie at our truck. So, and to open this location when I did, it was kind of awesome because all those people were able to come here and get smoothies whenever they wanted to. Smoothies have been around for a while, but it's only getting bigger and bigger. It's not gonna like go away. It's a meal replacement for some. Some people it's a dessert. You could have it at all times of day, morning, afternoon, evening. So, smoothies are just popular, and people are more health conscious nowadays, so that kind of helps us. And going into the future, I think it's just gonna get even better with that.
So you can check out Smooth Rider's Facebook page to see where their food truck is headed next, or you can give them a visit in Ohio City. All right, now it's time to get outside and do some exploring. What's greener than that? Well, we are touring the most visited reservation of the Cleveland Metro Parks. It spans 9 different communities. Can you believe that? This is the Rocky River Reservation.
Rocky River Reservation started it all. Cleveland Metro Parks first 3.8 acres in the entire park district. We have a diversity of trails, everything from paved all-purpose trails to the bridle trails, and here behind the Nature Center, over 5 miles of natural surface trails. Rocky River Reservation offers year-round activity. Whether you bike or hike, want to be on the water, want to get to Lake Erie, all of those things are here for you year-round, summer, winter, fall. Programs, Nature Center, we have a little bit of everything. The Rocky River itself is nationally and regionally known for its steelhead fishing. Actually, many publications have mentioned this river specifically. We have some access to the river directly right from the Nature Center. Near the Nature Center, we've recently added our West Channel Pond. We have a West Channel Pond loop trail that was recently renovated, as well as our West Channel Pond Bridge. If you visited the Oxbow Lagoon picnic area in the past, it might be worth another visit this summer. We've recently added new bridges and boardwalks to make a previously impassable trail passable. On the north end at our Emerald Necklace Marina, There is availability for kayak rental and paddleboard rental. So if you don't have the supplies, we've got that opportunity for you to try it first. We have 3 golf courses. Little Met, which is our very first golf course. Big Met, which is thought to be the most played course in the whole state of Ohio. And Mastic Woods, which offers nice 9-hole, same with Little Met, 9-hole opportunities. So our golf courses cover every skill level. I would be remiss if we didn't mention the Fort Hill stairs. 155 stairs, a staircase that leads up to the top of our Fort Hill loop trail and earthworks, which are a series of mounds and ditches that were created over 2,000 years ago by the early woodland Indians, and it's actually on the National Register of Historic Places. So once you've traveled those stairs, it's definitely worth checking out the earthworks. Rocky River Nature Center offers hundreds of programs to not only school groups, but anyone in the community, especially on the weekends. We host programs, nature hikes, as well as large-scale events. We're best known for our maple sugaring program, which happens every year in March, and our Birds of Prey event. We are known for an eagle's nest. I can't disclose that location to you, but I can tell you that if you hang around South Mastic picnic area, you might catch a view of those eagles hunting over the river. They did have 1 young juvenile this year and have been nesting in the area for years now. Rocky River Reservation is accessible to so many communities, traveling from Berea on the south end all the way up to Lakewood and Cleveland on the north end. It goes through about 9 communities, and currently Cleveland Metro Parks is working on a connector trail with the city of Fairview Park to connect those residents so they can easily get into the park.
So to keep up with the latest events happening in the park, you can visit clevelandmetroparks.com. All right, an alternative way to get around. We are biking through Cleveland. It's going to be fun right after this. But you, when I think of going green, I think of getting rid of the car emissions and taking a bike ride instead. And there's no better person to talk to us about the great ways to enjoy Cleveland and its suburbs here than Jason with Bike Cleveland. You guys are huge advocates in the community of making us get on our bikes, and then we get some good exercise out of it too.
You bet. Yeah, we are, for Cleveland, we are the ones that represent cyclists and people on foot that want to move throughout the city car-free. Even if it's just car-free for a day or two. Right?
So what all does Bike Cleveland do? Because I know there's a mighty group of you. It's small but mighty, right?
You're right. We're a member-based nonprofit organization. Over 1,000 members,
Wow.
individual members, plus 30 businesses or so that believe in the mission that we're trying to create of a city that's very bikeable and very walkable, and then that looking forward to that really vibrant city where people are moving around outside of cars, right?
And when people are thinking about doing so, I mean, I know they think, okay. Cleveland even offers some bikes for us to utilize ourselves if we don't have one on our own.
Yeah, Cleveland has a whole bike share, shared mobility system where you'll see the scooters and you'll see the bicycles. And those are bicycles that you can, through an app on your phone, just walk right up to them, rent them on the spot, and take them right where you need to go and leave them right at your destination. And they're waiting for you when you need to come back too.
So when people get involved in the community then that you have, what all are they learning? What all are they doing?
Our group, we educate drivers and cyclists on how to use the roads as safely as possible. So we do education on both of those fronts, but we also work to make sure the infrastructure itself is just better suited for people on bikes, which oftentimes then makes it safer for people on foot as well. And then when things go bad, we also do work to make sure that the laws that are in place, if something bad happens, that it's on the side of the cyclist or the person on foot to make sure they're covered when things go bad.
Well, I enjoy being on a bicycle. Absolutely love it. I know he looked at me today and said, "You're wearing those shoes to do this?" I said, "Listen, I've done just about anything in heels, so we're going to try cycling too." So you want to take a little quick stroll? We'll go through the streets of...
We're not going to take a quick stroll.
Oh,
We're going to take a quick spin.
Spin. Yeah, I got to get better with my lingo there, Jason. But I got my helmet ready to go. All right, let's do this. Heart rate's getting up there. Whew.
So what'd you think?
That was fun.
Yeah.
And I kept all my fingers and toes.
No, you're fine.
I'm good. Well, I know I feel like I just need to get myself a bike now.
I'll say that.
This has been fun. Can I steal this one from you?
Borrow it if you want.
Okay, I'll borrow it. Growing food without soil? Well, Oak Tree Hydroponics grows your veggies all year round. Take a look.
Oak Tree Hydroponics is a company that grows year-round a number of different varieties of lettuces as well as herbs. And we do it 24/7, 365. Right now we're in about a 4,000 square foot greenhouse. It is temperature controlled to the best of our ability, and we have approximately 800 to 8,500 plants growing at any one particular time. Primarily, we've got about 6 or 7 different lettuce varieties here. Butter lettuces, bib lettuces, green leafies, crisp heads. We also grow romaine and spinach. As far as the herbs go, arugula, basil, cilantro, pak choi. 2 varieties of parsleys, our beautiful Swiss chard here. The beauty of hydroponics is that because it is soilless, we don't rely on things like herbicides or pesticides to keep ugly, nasty, mean, rotten, and cruel critters away from this. It's all, if you will, controlled environment in here. And we've been doing this since 2015, I think is when we started. Got this greenhouse going in 2017, and we currently have a number of commercial accounts, and we provide our premier product at farmers markets.
I'm going to show you exactly what we do in growing the vegetables that we have here in the greenhouse. We start off right here with plants that we actually just put in on Sunday. You notice they've already started to grow. They will stay in these little containers for about 2 to 3 weeks until they get to be about this size, and then they get to be transplanted into our channels. We have this very large reservoir underneath the tables here. That is where the water is recycled and comes out of, and that's where the nutrients are mixed. So we will have the pumps which are on that side bring the water up through these pipes right here. We'll have water that goes into the channels. We use 90% less water than they do otherwise in the fields, and that's what makes it a little bit easier for us to produce our product 365 days a year. I plant approximately 1,000 plants every week, and that's just to keep the cycle going, because if there's ever a break in the cycle, then I'm out without product, and I've got some very unhappy customers.
What makes hydroponics special is that it's not your typical agricultural type environment where you're dependent on the weather, on seasons. We control it all, and that's the beauty of the hydroponic.
It makes me feel good to be able to provide something to people that they A, need, B, love, and then to get the thanks from them is worth it all.
To find Oak Tree Hydroponics, you can visit their website to see a farmer's market that's closest to you. All right, something is buzzing, folks. We are visiting a local hive up next. story really comes full circle, from the flowers to the bees to your table. Let's check out the hives of the honeyest one.
They sound like they're happy. They're making a good buzzing sound. A long time ago, about a month before my son was born, I found out I was sick. And when I was recovering, a friend of mine had brought some honey to me and said, here, this will make you feel better. And I started eating it, and I did feel better, and it was amazing. And I decided, well, I should get some bees. I just went out and started making these hives. I made a lot of hives. I made a couple hundred of these boxes, and just like this voice in my head was just telling me, go to do this, I spent the whole winter in my garage making these boxes. For about the first 7 or 8 years, I took care of the bees out in the woods on the weekends, a lot by myself, learning about it, collecting the honey, doing that, and giving it away. I gave some to a woman that looked at me and said, why would you want to do that? And I said, well, it makes me feel good, it makes other people, but I should sell it. So I started this thing called the Honeyest One, and we sell the honey. Okay, one of the important things about what we're doing is you should have a purpose. You just shouldn't get a beehive and just start digging through it anytime you feel like it. You should leave them alone as much as possible. But the reason today is we're just going to make sure that they're still okay. So we'll take the top off and we'll look through a couple of the boxes and we'll see if there's a presence of an egg-laying queen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to kind of stand here for a minute and just take a look at how they're behaving in front of the hive. So on a day like this, with the sun out at this time of day, with this weather, there should be bees going in to and from the hive. They should be coming back with some pollen on their bodies. So this looks pretty good. That sound you hear is the propolis. It's like bee glue. It's from tree sap and some resins. The bees use it to basically glue everything together so it doesn't move or vibrate too much. So we'll check a couple of these frames in the middle to see if there's any brood on those. So here's a nice full frame of honey on both sides of this. It's been harvested from the flowers, brought back to the hive. The honey's been dried so that the moisture content is low enough so it doesn't ferment. And then they put a wax capping on there. And at this point now, this honey could last for a very, very, very long time in that state and not spoil or go bad. It's an amazing thing. So there's babies on this one. This is a good one. So these eggs, most of these were laid 9 or 10 days ago, because then at some point they put a capping on the cell that the egg is in, and the larva, and then the pupa, and then the adult. And these bees will probably be born within the next 7 or 8 days, I would think. So here are some cells that are going to turn into males. These cells right here, those are drone cells that will then become male bees. They're a lot bigger than the female cells. Here's a male bee right here. The biggest thing I know is that they're smarter than me. And as long as I give them a clean, dry place to live in an area that's got water and lots of bloom, they usually do really well. You ready to go? Or are you having too much fun?
So you can shop the Honeyest One online or find him at several local markets, and you can check out their website to find out where he will be next. So that is going to wrap up our Go Green show. Remember, even a little change can make a really big difference. So whether that means maybe biking to work, eating healthy, or just reusing the things that you already have, our planet is saying thank you in a big way. I'm Natalie Herbeck, and on behalf of David Moss, we'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.